Hello and welcome back to the second part of our Delta Green one shot deep in the Bayou. It's called. It's uh, one of the shotgun scenarios. Very good so far. I'm been quite humorous.
Or is that we're very good, or you think you're done very
Yeah,
well?
yeah. I was going to say, what part's good, Andy? No,
I think
I'm fucking with
the role playing interaction between the three of
you.
us. I've had lots of fun. Put it that way. Um, right. Okay. So. You have finished talking to the sheriff, and you've spoken to the Peggy Sue who runs the diner. You've discovered that there are a number of uh, missing people. There's definitely a pattern here. What do you wish to do next? It's probably now. We started eating at 4. Let's say it's 6 o'clock now.
No, it's not a time to be on the bayou, is it? Let's face it.
I think that perhaps tomorrow morning we should make our start there. Perhaps we can do a little bit of research, or go down to the docks now just to see if what's on her boat and what if it's
Well,
well.
her,
No,
her boat's
sorry,
not there.
not her boat.
What her car?
Car's
Is it?
there.
Her
Yeah, that was
pickup,
it.
whatever. Yeah. Right.
And see if perhaps there'll be somebody willing to take us tomorrow morning. Or can we hire, like, can either of us
Yeah.
drive a... It's amphibious, isn't it? Those things.
Yeah.
It's 2 sticks, isn't it? Turn the fan this way, turn the fan that way.
Fair enough. It's like a barge boat, isn't it? Those are easy enough.
You be able to use your drive skill.
I think it's 20 for me. Yeah. Mine's 20 because it's the minimum. Yeah. It's not like we could crash into other. Well, I suppose we could, but
You take the left stick, I take the right stick. I'm sure we could.
yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Or
Yeah.
let's go down to the docks and just find out what's going on down there. Maybe we can hire somebody.
Possibly high-speed chases might not be the best.
Yeah.
Right. So you're going to the docks now, right? Okay. You find her truck. It's parked up. The bed of it is empty of anything of any interest. It's a reasonable condition truck. It's clearly her property, not the.
Right. I was about to say it's not all logoed up. U.S. Fisheries and Wildlife. Yeah.
It's her own truck. It's in good condition, but it's got some age to it. But it looks pretty robust vehicle. No sign of any keys or anything like that. It's locked. There are racks on the back for firearms. There is nothing on there, but you do notice that there is actually like a padlock to secure on one of the. You can put 2 weapons there. One of them actually has a padlock to secure the weapon there.
The weapon isn't there, obviously.
But there's a weapon not there.
Has it got Louisiana plates? Has she bought it locally?
No, it's got Florida plates.
Okay.
Which is where she would have been from because the uni.
Yeah. Okay.
What are you thinking?
No, it's just whether it's local. How long has she been here? Sorry,
9.5 months, according to the.
9.5 months. Okay. Well, I'm thinking she's tracking alligators, and that's sort of
pregnant
alligators, but it's live data. Her laptop's back in the trailer.
Is the
Does she have more than one laptop?
Well, I was thinking like
Well, has she got?
GPS.
Yeah, she got another
Is like
tracker.
I was about to say, is it a different? If it is, it as like a separate monitor screen thing for check it for GPS, or is it gonna go by her laptop?
Or
Um,
I was thinking, you're probably plugging something in, and
Yeah,
well, perhaps no.
possibly.
In fairness, no, you're right. You probably find that she has something that
Yeah,
she
because if
might plug into her laptop when she gets back, and it downloads that sort of data,
yeah,
that sort of thing. Yeah.
you don't want to be taking a laptop out into the Bayou.
No, no,
yeah, it's
fair
got no
enough.
fucking electricity. Yeah. We should do a little bit of research. I've got my laptop with me, as to what exactly her role entails, and maybe do a little bit of figuring out what we should be looking for as per her job. And then we've already got the location of these locals. I think that unfortunately
Right.
there's a
Yeah.
the
For me, there's two locations we've got that both need
mm,
to be looked at.
yeah,
One is the last place that she was looking for this pregnant alligator, and the
mm,
other one is where the locals are.
yeah,
Um, the sheriff said to me that what their search will be for her boat, because he's pretty sold on the fact that she's. If I'm being honest, I think he thinks she's dead anyway. He's in
yeah,
his mind, if she's not back now, considering her job, she thinks she's come off her boat or whatever, and she's been
that's right.
got. The fact that it's left it 3 days, even if she was injured,
Yeah.
not much chance of her being survived now.
Did Moriarty let Salem know everything that
Sorry,
he'd
yeah,
seen in there, just so that I know what information I'm coming from.
yeah.
I, I don't know whether there is a correlation between her being here for 9.5 months and that being approximately the time roughly of these young women going missing. If you believe that there's a connection there. But I don't know if that's something that we could potentially look at now tonight, see if who the previous few were, and whether or not they had any links to what Deborah's been doing. Like, have they been out in the bayou? It's a small place. There's a lack of locations that could potentially be particularly unique. A lot of it's going to overlap, I imagine, but it's somewhere to start. As I think you're right, we shouldn't go out there in the night.
No.
Okay.
Did you take notes of? You didn't actually say you're taking notes of all. You looked at them, but you didn't take notes of them, or
I've got a photographic memory. Did I tell you that right at the start? No.
Eidetic memory.
you
I can
can.
always go in there.
In fairness, they're official missing. If they're on there, they're official missing persons.
Um,
And this is my naivety about Delta Green, because I don't know the game particularly well. We have a certain uh,
Oh
what's the
yeah,
word?
do we have contact?
Access to government records, surely. Albeit we might have to go to Oculus to say,
uh,
oh, we need this.
right.
We need access.
You can make. All right. Your bureaucracy skill is 50, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So yes, you can access without any problem the official missing persons. You have to trawl through other missing persons and find out the ones that and work out the ones that were on his wall, and that takes you on his notice board. That takes you a while to do. So that probably that looking at that probably takes you most of the evening figuring that out.
Albeit we're talking about a a fairly small area.
Smelly.
Smelly small area, a fairly small area. The wine's kicking in, too little food. The and if it's on his wall, it's in this district, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So I hear what you say, Andy. It will be trawling, but it won't be a massive trawl, I don't
No,
think. Yeah.
no. Okay. Okay. So that's a little time to sort out. And the one thing that Dr. Carnegie doesn't fit the profile of all these other missing women is that she's not a local. She clearly also has a job that, apart from one of the other women, most of them haven't. There seems to be no reason for them to be going into the Bayou at all regularly. One of them is was a sort of tour guide who would take people out on take tourists out on a particularly large. You can get some quite large fan boats that can carry, I think, 6 people as well as the driver. So there's one who used to do that who went missing, but she wasn't out on her fan boat when she went missing. So there doesn't seem to be any. There's a pattern in the ages and the gender. They don't appear to have the whole out in the Bayou connection.
Yeah.
Okay.
And most of them appear to have just. There seems to be really quite scant information. It's almost like they no signs of it. You get through the bureaucracy, all the records and stuff like that. Sorry, all the not the police records. I mean the posters. But and with a bit more time and some more use of bureaucracy, you can cross-reference that with any news reports, and all of it just seems to be people just reporting missing. No signs of any struggle, any problems, or anything like that. And the sheriff isn't the only person who's saying, "Are they really missing? Are these people who just?" Some people call them
Just up and left.
runaways. Yeah,
Mm.
but
Yeah, yeah.
they're a bit old to be running away. They're fully grown adults. Yeah, there's no young teenage sort of sorry old teenage young sort of the youngest is 23,
Yeah.
so it's a bit old to be described as runaways, but that's sort of little big city light type comments and slightly patronising rude comments like the sheriff made.
Is there any connection in appearance? Are they blondes, blue-eyed? Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no.
No.
Is this a serial killer type? Yeah.
No, there's not. There's not. Most of them are white of probably from the names Cajun ancestry, but there's a couple who are black and one who's Hispanic.
Potentially, this is just an indication of the amount of young people that, or younger people, I should say, that are just a little bit tired of living in a small area. I don't want to give too much merit to the idea that most of these are runaways. It may not be the case, but I'm not sure.
It's an easier sell, isn't it? Let's face it. They're all. It's a bit backwater here.
Yeah, I do think that we should keep it in mind, but maybe our focus should be more now on what we're going to do tomorrow out in the bayou and make a
Yeah.
plan just in case anything goes wrong. I got some stuff from the shop. Andy,
Mhm.
in this shop, do they sell key rings?
Yes, they do sell tourist key rings.
Yes. I will buy. That was my first port of business. I buy a tourist key ring. I add it to my bundle of key rings, and I want to have got basic kit together. So like I know that we've raided the green box, and we've probably brought our own stuff, but anything survivalish just in case we get stuck out there for a day or whatever. Torches, blankets, if
bottles.
we need it, water bottles. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that Moriarty's got any kind of first aid covered. So I
Yes.
might buy myself just a little travel pack,
Certainly.
first aid travel pack, and maps.
He's got everything you need up to minor surgery.
Okay, good. I got Peppa Pig plasters.
Um, the um, the the maps. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
The maps. What this shows is that as such, there's rivers. And if you look at the map a sec. By the way, this is actually scaled, so you can actually do distances on it if you wish.
Oh, cool.
The
Ooh,
Yeah.
very good. Ooh,
um,
impressed.
it's thank you. It's the
Thank
thing to
you.
say about the map. The things that so the maps. The maps of the Bayou aren't particularly good because the rivers as such, they're partly maintained by not I don't know if dredging is the right way to
I know what
describe
you
it.
mean, yeah.
Yeah, but they actively keep it clear. But there are numerous small little tributaries, and those can shift because they're. I mean, you could frankly, if you keep going up and down a place with a boat regularly, you'll create a new one. Yeah.
Gotcha. So it's not something that's mappable in a
No,
detailed way.
no. But what you possibly will get is
Yeah.
is a GPS tracker because once you get out there, you won't have a phone signal. Yeah.
Yeah.
But a GPS tracker will tell you where you are, and you can then start to plot. You can plot
Navigate.
various points on the with GPS signals, GPS
Right.
locations. One
Just
thing.
for a bit
Go on.
of kit that I really think might be useful. And I'm not sure if the store will do it or whether it was in the green box, but some sort of drone.
Uh,
Doesn't have to be sophisticated. It's just a camera drone that we can whiz up 1,000 feet in the air and get a bit of a broader view. Because I'm
Okay.
thinking if we're trying to find a fly boat.
Location, yeah.
Yeah. Right. It's 2018, so it's nearly 6 years ago.
Oh, yeah, fair point. Fair point. Yeah.
So the green box didn't have
Maybe not
one.
out here.
And in all honesty, I was thinking about giving you a luck
No,
check.
sorry.
I don't
Yeah.
think you. I don't.
No,
There
I
will
was
be.
forgetting. It's
It's that long ago.
Yeah. Yes, there may be places you could go and buy one, but you'd have to go probably
Go
back to
out.
Baton Rouge or to Lafayette.
and
To
I'll
go.
be packed down with I'll be packed down with pockets for $1,000, won't I? At this point as well.
Yeah.
Bloody expensive as well. Yeah.
Does anyone sell any carrier pigeons? No, I'm joking. Just tape
Um,
a camera to
just on the
GoPro.
subject of GPS coordinates, when
Mm,
you look up the GPS coordinates on a map, and you
Yep.
can do that on a smartphone, which you
Mm.
are your burner phones. This is what.
Oh, look at that.
So you've got
Hey.
a fairly major river, and then you've got what seems to be one complex of buildings on the northern side of the river, and then immediately on the south, it might be a sort of a dock or something like that,
Hmm.
and then further south, another complex of several buildings.
Sorry, this is uh, the you can't click on it, can you?
No,
Which one's her trailer?
no.
No, not where she lives. This is the locals. The
The coordinates.
Sorry, I misread the title. Yeah, okay, yep. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So how far away, like, can we see on this map? So I'm assuming here, right?
Yeah.
Whereabouts is this GPS location? Like, can we put a mark on the map?
I will do that.
Thank you. Just a little cross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where am I?
And then another colour cross for the
Or
last
where
alligator.
alligator.
Land that in.
Right, actually. The red one is where the red dot is that GPS location.
Oh, wow. All the way over there. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to
I'm
zoom
not
out.
expecting that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
17, jeez.
And then what colour should I do for the blue
Yeah.
one? The blue one. This is where the further south.
Locals.
That's where the according to the records, that's where she was then going to try and find what that is. Sorry, to be very clear, that is the last reported position of the next pregnant alligator she was going to go and try and find.
The red one is the locals. Gotcha. Sorry,
Red one
I
is
got that
locals.
confused.
The blue one is the last known position of that particular alligator.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
So the night before, sort of like with the time we've got left,
Mm-hmm.
if we could, I'd like to just do a bit of general. I don't know whether it'd come under like survival or something like that, to kind of prepare ourselves for what we might encounter and sort of like do a bit of a risk assessment
Yep.
of we might encounter alligators. Don't wave your arms or whatever it is.
Don't stick your hand in
Just
his mouth.
Yeah, don't stick your hands in his
Yeah.
mouth.
Yep, certainly.
We
Be
could do
prepared for that.
Google Earth goes back this far, doesn't it? So
Google Earth, yeah, that goes back to
yeah, so we could do a little bit of Google Earth. Just to, I appreciate, I hear what you say, things change, but just get the broad lay of the land, so we're not going in completely
So
blind.
the major sort of rivers which you can see on here, those seem all pretty static and are either naturally flowing or are cleared. It's more the bits.
Sort of up from there.
Sorry, I've put that red one for them in slightly the wrong place. I'm just going to move it.
Outrageous.
No, didn't want to do that.
That's blue.
Sorry, are we going to do any different?
No, it should be slightly further south on that river.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's what I meant. Sorry, that's annoying me.
There you go. So I think actually we've got a fairly good route. Well, I say that we'd have to go down this river, then come back up again to this one.
Yeah.
Because the way it goes, unless we're going to go all the way around, which makes no sense. So
Well, looking when you sort of dive in further detail in the map, in an electronic version of the map where you can zoom in more than we can on this screen, but also and the Google map, the Google Earth images, there are little links through that people have cut between there,
okay.
so you can take some shortcuts to make it a bit quicker and stuff like that.
Okay. So maybe we see if there's a shortcut at this narrow point, hopefully, and then go down from there. But that will be like hopefully our first route, unless we want to go to the alligator thing first, or do we want to go straight head first into the locals?
I prefer to go and check the alligator thing first.
All right, I was thinking
because
that, to be honest.
If nothing else, because if I'm being honest, there is a certain amount of she deals with alligators, and I appreciate there is some concern over what she's found. Her going missing might be mundane. That doesn't mean that we don't have to look further to what she found, but we're connecting these two things together. They might not be together.
if the pictures that she's taken of these people are correct, then I think that once we interact with the locals, it will likely go beyond just us.
Yeah.
So let's go deal with this area with the alligator first. Bring your medical kit just in case that she is in need of medical aid.
Yeah.
If we find her.
Yep. The other thing I'd say is we could hire someone to take us to this
That
spot.
location. Yeah.
If we go to this spot, we're going to go tooled up, and I'm not sure who we're going to hire who's going to be happy with us walking on with some firearms and some.
Do we perhaps then want to make this today the trip just to where the alligator is and do a general search
Yep.
for her boat?
Yep.
And maybe do a drive-by, not stopping past
Yep.
this compound just to see if her boat's there,
Yep.
and then maybe another day, tomorrow or whatever, see if we
If we need
can
to. Yeah.
ask Oculus for some further agents.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna Before we leave, I'm gonna phone Oculus and literally just tell her what our plan is and what we found out so far.
Yeah,
So they,
unfortunately, the agents I was hoping would come and help you are not available.
Karl and Ben, you bastards, you've left us alone.
Do you mean gelato and
Yeah, gelato
And Sequoia.
and
Sequoia?
Sequoia. Yeah.
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 Park his tree elsewhere.
Yep. Boom, boom. Right. So you're going to go and check out the blue dot and that area there. Okay. What are your
Can we
search?
hire somebody?
Oh, you want to hire?
Like
Right.
to drive
Okay. Sorry. So you go back
do
to
this
the
today?
dock. There appears to be some sort of discussion going on. There seems to be a gathering of people at the dock. It appears to be the something almost certainly stimulated by the sheriff. He appears to be organising some kind of search, and so he's gathering up people into pairs, pairs per boat. And there's a guy who hires out boats, and there's a bit of an argument going on between him. I think his name is. Where's it gone? Jimmy's Flyboat. Jimmy's Flyboat World, it's called. And Jimmy is currently having an argument with the sheriff over the costs of hiring all of his boats. The sheriff appears to be trying to negotiate some kind of discount. And there's a
Priorities.
yes. There's a bit of a negotiation going on, and there seems to be about various men and women have been gathered together from the locals. There's quite a lot of shotguns and hunting rifles in present. They're not going unarmed. Never trust gators. And but there does appear to be some sort of organising of a search party going
Excellent.
on.
Sorry, can I just go back quickly? We talked to Oculus again. Excuse my naivety over Delta Green, but is there any chance that Oculus could help backstory
Yeah. My uniform.
her
And
uniform?
his cover. And his
They,
cover as professor.
Yep. Yes.
we'll have to go without ID, but if
Yeah.
there's
If
that
they do a
cursory
search.
check,
Mm,
That's actually simpler. Yes. All right. I will get a computer assistant to intercept any calls.
excellent.
okay.
as we're watching the sheriff have this negotiation with the dock
But
blokes.
a lot of people are telling staring sort of like, "Who are you?" in your
Yeah.
brand spanking new clothing, in certain, particularly for Moriarty. And what are you doing here? Type thing. No one's come to talk to you, but a lot of people sort of staring at you.
Sorry,
Uh,
is Salem wearing the uniform? Is she wearing?
yeah. Is it me that's wearing? I'm wearing a uniform. Is that what you mean? Like people looking at me?
No, they're actually staring at both of you
Uh-huh.
because they
The
don't know who the hell
newbies.
you are.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
and
said because of Moriarty wearing the brand spanking new uniform.
Oh yeah, I've got
You
my
mean say
no, he's got brand spanking new.
uncomfortable boots. And,
He's got brand
Oh,
spanking new clothing on. You've got a
I see.
uniform on that is actually fairly
I
well
understand.
worn in and used. So yeah,
I
um,
understand.
and they're you hear them they're muttering to you. Do either of you speak any French?
No.
you know, it'll
No.
be on the character sheet. I'm guessing I do.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Okay.
I,
Go on.
I, so I was gonna say to Moriarty, like seeing the sheriff having this conversation, that perhaps, do you think that we should direct them over to the locals and mention that this family was the last people that had that she had contact with, whilst we go down to the and let
Like,
him interact with them first, or do you think that's not wise?
considering the aims and goals of our organisation,
I think that they've probably almost certainly had contact with the locals. I'm more of a
well, it's the children in
yeah,
particular I'm worried about. If that becomes
an issue.
an
Okay,
issue,
perhaps then we tell them that the from tracking data that we've got from the last alligator that
the sheriff did ask for that data. That was part of albeit it went awry. My view was like, we'll give you this data if you do something about it. I guess he's doing something about it.
let's give him that alligator data.
Yeah.
Alligator data.
Okay. So the locals are, as they're watching you, by the way, they're muttering each other, and you don't. It's this Cajun patois that their language they're speaking, and so uh, they're, they're, you get the gist that they're probably taking the piss a bit out of Moriarty in particular.
Well, in fairness,
Wow.
he might have a little bit of spattering because he does. Doctor says Fonzier. He was done
Oh, okay.
in his previous life.
Yeah.
He's done some sort of war zone sort of doctoring in his.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So
His
it's not French, but they're using it's a mixture of English and French, and then I'm trying to think what other languages in there. But is Creole a separate language? I can't remember. But
it is. Yeah. I know you
yeah,
read, yeah.
and I think even some Native American stuff is in there as well.
Probably.
But but you get the gist that they're making jokes at your expense at the present moment.
Yeah.
Nothing massively offensive, but they're sort of doing it behind your back by deliberately speaking a language they assume
Yeah.
you can't understand. So entirely the friendliest. Um, and But after a while, are you interrupting the sheriff in his discussion uh, with Jimmy?
Yeah, I
And
think I
Jimmy.
will.
Yeah.
I think I will on the basis that I left that with that sort of bullish, Sheriff Rose, as I suggested,
Oh, here's the man who's
and I
going to tell us
can't.
how to do our jobs.
Well, I can at least start you in the right direction, and I pass him the GPS coordinates. This is the last place that was logged.
So this is the last place that Dr. Carnegie
That we
was.
have access to the data. No, that's not the case. This is the last data she logged. So this is that she was looking for a particular pregnant alligator.
And it was
The
here.
last time it was there the last time she logged that data on the laptop.
Okay. Okay. I'll okay. Thank you. We'll
No,
go and have a
thank you.
search then.
Yeah, we're joining that search. That's okay. Thank you.
Do you know how to use a fan boat?
No, but I'm sure one of these friendly people can around us.
Okay.
Is the guy selling the fan boats or whatever it is there,
Hiring them. Yeah.
hiring them out? Sorry. Is he standing there with the sheriff?
Yep.
I just I ignore the sheriff and I sort of address this guy and I go, "Hi, my name's Gillian Hale." Put my hand out.
Jimmy, he says, and Jimmy
Nice
says,
to meet you, Jimmy.
makes a point. Say, Jimmy with an IE, and shakes your hand. And it actually says
Yeah.
Jimmy's Flyboat World. Jimmy is spelled JIMMIE.
Yeah. Nice to meet you, Jimmy with an IE. Is it possible to hire one of your boats and maybe somebody to drive it for us?
That's
How
what
much
I'm
would that be?
negotiating with the sheriff.
Oh, I'm sure he's fairly capable of negotiating his own vessels. I'm thinking maybe just one for myself and my colleague.
Tell you what. Um, he looks you up and down and sort of. You work for the same.
I'm looking for Deborah, yes.
Yeah, but you work for the same. Okay. Yeah, all right. I'll take you out.
That's awfully nice of you, Jimmy. And whatever it is that he says to pay, I will not haggle. I will just pay it.
He actually asks you a fair price. Um, uh,
Sheriff's like,
no. Noticeably, from the conversation you heard a bit of, he asks you for less than he was asking the sheriff because he's, as far as he's concerned, there's clearly some money to be made out of the town there.
yeah.
Right. But he finished negotiating with the sheriff, having given a cheap price to you. Eventually, he does the same price for the sheriff. In total, the sheriff has his own boat already. In total, you're on one boat, the sheriff's boat, and there's another four. There's 6 boats in total going out to search. Okay. Jimmy comes with you. He gets some bolt action hunting rifle out, and the boat you're on is actually a bigger 6-person one. Most others are sort of small 2 or 3 people ones. Okay. So actually, the sheriff's is quite a big one as well. Yours and Jimmy's, because size matters, because they're bigger, they're more powerful. Yeah.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
down here.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
So are we just? I saw that. So do you want to get the guns off the rack?
Yeah, I'm assuming that we would have grabbed anything that we need. I think everything that we need for that research that we did on survival and just sort of
Yeah.
basic, so we're not amateurs so
Mhm.
much. In a duffel bag, is that possible?
Yep.
Like to
And
fit
then you've got
everything in a
another
duffel bag?
bag with the rifle and the shotgun. Yeah.
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 So we grab one bag each and make
Mhm.
our way to Jimmy's boat.
Yeah. Jimmy's got a hook on his boat to hook his rifle, so he is also armed. Okay. You and you're going down to the area with the red, which colour dot is it?
Blue dot is
Blue
a
dot.
blue dot, wasn't
Yeah.
Blue dot first,
Blue
yeah.
dot search around there. Right. Okay. This takes you pretty well the whole of the day. Yeah. And they're doing a
We thought that might be the
really proper, thorough. Jimmy, the sheriff, and actually a couple of the other boat drivers between them organise a very thorough grid search and so on. It's a real thorough search, and you find absolutely no sign of Dr. Carnegie or her boat. Okay.
Can we ask, whilst we're out on the search, obviously keeping an eye out for everything, but also ask if Jimmy can give us just some basic instruction on how to
Mhm.
use this vessel, so that with the intention that we'll likely come out tomorrow if we can't find her, and we don't want to take up his time by
Mhm.
commandeering him for
On the
this.
main road, on the main river bits, he gives you some lessons and so on. Okay.
Both of us, I'm assuming, like
Yeah.
both of us to,
Yeah.
just in case.
Now, both of you have done a few missions now for Delta Green, and part of your sort of characteristics that made Delta Green interested in you as agents was the fact that you have inquisitive minds. So when you see something, you're good at spotting things that just seem a little odd for the location, the environment, the situation, the person, whatever. And what you spot something that is, and it's when actually Jimmy is training you towards the end of the day. Jimmy on the way back up the main river is showing you uh, how to drive the boat, pilot the boat. I don't know what the correct word is. Sail. It's not sail. Steer.
Might be drive,
I
I
think it might
think.
be
I
drive.
think
Yeah.
it
Pilot,
is still
pilot's
drive.
really good, but hey, yeah.
Fly.
Uh,
Fly.
fly the boat.
Mm.
Let's
Yeah,
just
all
for
right, yeah.
today. Let's
Yeah.
go with fly.
Yeah. Anyway, and what you spot is something all around this area. Everything you've seen is fairly. I mean, Butlerus is. It's a bit. It's a bit of a rundown town. I mean, there's nice buildings there. Everything's a bit run down. You go out, a lot of the places you've seen a few shacks and stuff like that. People actually live in the Bayou, and they're living in glorified shacks. They won't have any electricity. Yeah, I mean, some of them may well have generators and stuff like that, but it's all a bit run down. So when you spot something that's essentially an industrial building, it seems out of place. Yeah.
Does
And
it smell funny?
just bear with me
I
a
don't
sec.
know. What is the cannabis farm sort of environment that you need?
That says more about your throat process about this, doesn't it?
Well,
It's you see another dot that's appeared.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
So there is a bit of sort of industrial type building with, I mean, to your trained eyes, a pretty bloody secure chain link fence with razor wire on top of it, surrounding it. It's only a single story building, but it does look to be there are though it's swamp, there are patches of solid ground. It definitely looks to be on something. It's got a dock for a boat, but it's actually then raised up. The land is then raised up a bit from that. And there's a bit of a chain link fence with razor wire guarding it, and uh, looks quite a degree of security, including
We point it out to
cameras.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Hmm. Point it out to Jimmy and just go, what's that?
What's that?
Yeah, what's that over there?
Um, um, I don't know much about it. There's someone said to me you can actually drive there. There's a there's actually a track leading there from on land. Um,
Hmm.
uh, Someone said it's some industrial building.
See that,
March Industry or something like that.
March Industry, did you say?
Something like that.
It's a bit unusual to be out here in the middle of nowhere. God damn my cat.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'd agree. Yeah, but hey,
Would you say industrial? Is it big smokestacks and
No,
stuff,
no,
or is
no,
it? It's
no.
literally just a warehousey type
It's a
buildings. That sort of
warehousey
thing.
building. Any windows it's got are quite high.
Did you say it was called March Industries?
He said something like March Industries.
Okay. Can I? Oh, did I say that we got a GPS tracker now,
yeah.
like a location thing? Can I just get, as we're going past it, look at the GPS location, make a? I don't know if there's like a safe option for this
Yeah.
location
Yeah.
on it. Just to, but I want to do it sort of not super whilst Jimmy's sort of looking. Maybe when Moriarty has spoken to him or something. I just want to quickly
Yeah.
make a quick note of that.
Yep, certainly.
Okay.
I want to talk to Jimmy some point during the day, especially as we've seen these little out, the your sort of settlement, whatever, in the Bayou about. So you get a lot of people live out here.
Yeah. Yes. People who just sort of always have done, always made a living off the land, and their parents
Right.
did, their grandparents did, their great grandparents did. Yeah.
The a couple of names. I mean, we've been looking around, and I'm really not sure about it. I'm not sure it's come across. I'm looking at so a couple of names have come across. Names have come across, the Cormiers and the Burgons.
Yeah, the
And
weird.
I'm just checking him because what I don't want to do is not knowing what his surname is. I
Yeah,
don't want to
yeah.
screw up here, but
That's a good fucking point. He could be one of them, couldn't he?
so there's the
What's your human score? And for both of you, what's your human scores?
30. Great.
30, yeah.
Both of you can roll human.
Cool.
Did that go through? Oh, I got a success. Jesus.
Sorry.
I did
Tick
not
submit
expect to
in.
get a success.
Sorry. I didn't.
Right. So you find him fairly hard to read, but Agent Salem, you're fairly certain he's telling the truth when he says, I haven't really heard that. I don't know them at all.
Do you not come out onto the waterways very often?
Yeah, but
Or yourself?
I don't go round all the houses, all the
I understand.
all the shacks. But yeah, I mean, I know almost everyone. Oh, hang on.
Do you think that it's then unusual that you wouldn't know a name, or
Is that the name? There's some people live a few kilometres to the north from here who always keep themselves to themselves. I've never spoken to them. It could be them. But I mean, the Bayou is a big place. There's lots of little isolated places. So I know
Yeah, sure.
the ones, and it's better viewing for tourists if you head north from Butler Rosa. So around this,
I imagine that wherever she went is not particularly touristy. So
no. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't know those names at all.
I give a look to Moriarty of a kind of a questioning of, I don't know whether this is going to come across in my expression because I don't want to say it out loud, but of a should we say a little bit more about those people, basically, is what I'm trying to convey to him, see if he approves.
Yeah, I feel I say, oh, that's strange. We thought they were quite well known in the area. Are you recent, or have you lived here all your life?
I've lived here a long time.
No.
Yeah, I mean, uh, I grew up further to the north, but yeah,
It's the way communities are. People know people. They don't know people. You don't cross paths all the time, do you?
don't know these. No.
We were just curious. It was one of the some of the names that were mentioned in her journal and some of the correspondence she had with us. That was all. Thank you anyway.
She must be really deep into the.
You'd be
I wouldn't.
surprised
I
where
wouldn't.
our research takes us.
I wouldn't claim to know everyone who lives in the Bayou. Yeah,
Understandable.
there are some people who tend to really keep themselves.
Mm,
I mean,
I just hope that she hasn't upset those kinds of people. And
yeah, I mean, you there'll be people get called Hicks and things like that, and so on. But
do you think the sheriff would know them? Would he be
more
more
like
knowledgeable of
more likely,
people around?
yes, more than likely, yes. And
Perhaps a conversation with him at some point then.
the uh, but you do get some strange. I mean, there are hippies who choose to live off grid. Sometimes come and live in the Bayou. That tends to be a bit further north, though. Down here, I mean, there's families who've always lived there, and they don't want anything to do with the authorities or the government. Or, I mean, there's
Any
They
well,
live by their
li-
own laws, do you think?
yeah. I mean, one of the big issues. There was a whole big thing a few years ago with. I don't think it's either of these names of families, but some people who weren't sending their kids to school, and all the authorities got involved, and yeah, all gets very
That's a
got,
shame.
it never came to actual blows, but there was a standoff and threatening people with guns and stuff like that. And I think the dad of the family was sent to prison for a while for threatening a police officer and stuff
Gosh, when did you say that was?
a few years ago.
A few years ago.
But that was I know the name of the family that were involved in that, and that's not either of those two names.
Fair enough.
No.
Has there been any strange, like people that come down here and they have, I say strange, possibly that wasn't the right word, but alternative beliefs that
Yeah,
perhaps like
hippies.
to, yeah, that's what sort of somewhat triggered my my thought. Uh, so people that might have their own opinions and morals about intruders stepping into their territories.
I think you'll find that a lot with
Maybe that hasn't narrowed it down. Thank you anyway.
yeah. Right. So the rest of that day is spent. I think this is all towards the end of the day,
Mm.
Yeah.
and you're taken back, and I'm not really getting across. It's very hot. It's very sweaty. You've been plagued by insects all day.
Insect repellent just
You thought
constantly.
you were getting plagued by insects when you're in Bud La
Mm.
Rosa, but when you're
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
out on the Bayou, it's
Yeah.
unbelievable. You've been bitten to hell by everything, um, and uh, everything's hot and sweaty and rubs. All your clothing rubs and stuff like that. And
Horrible.
yeah, okay.
Thoroughly
Uh,
grumpy.
Annoyingly, Jimmy's not been at all affected by any of this. It's just us
Yeah,
two.
It's so,
Um, he just doesn't seem
he's
to
a little
care.
sweaty. He
Yeah.
doesn't care. Yeah, he's gone past
Yeah,
caring.
he's a bit more adapted to the heat,
Yeah.
but he's
He
still,
is one with the swamp.
they've still got big sweat stains and all this sort of stuff. And
He is a swamp man.
yeah,
Um,
okay.
I say to Moriarty, do you think that we should make nice with the sheriff for a little bit of information? Maybe perhaps offer to buy him a meal at Peggy Sue's and we go and have a chat with him there.
Yeah, can I do. He's not going to be friendly initially. I pushed his buttons a bit last night.
Yeah, you said you're
Um,
thinking that that might be a good starting point, an apology dinner, if
yeah,
you will.
perhaps. Yeah, perhaps that's where we need to be. I think we can catch it around our concern for our colleague, can't we? And
Of course, I'm very
yeah,
concerned
yeah. Okay,
as I
I'll
scratch
give it.
every part.
Let's give it a
Ah,
go.
Right. So you meet up back with the sheriff back at the dock actually, and they've all. You weren't given it, but Jimmy was carrying a radio. There's been radio communication all day, and everyone's turned up a complete blank. And as you're all getting off, the sheriff's just checking everyone, and he turns to you two and says, "Right, I am pretty certain. My professional view is that she ain't in that area because there's no sign of a boat. And if the worst come to the worst, then the boat would have been left. Boats just they just don't disappear."
it's got to be somewhere else. I think you're right. Listen, today's been long. We're not used to being out on the swamp. We're desperate for answers. I know that you've done everything in your power um to help our friend, our colleague, but we're heading over to Peggy Sue's. Uh, if you need something to eat, happy to pay for you. Maybe we could just chat about what we saw.
Give me a persuade check at uh, plus 20.
Food. Oh, it's food. Pray for me. Oh, did it go? I pressed the button. Now, beans.
Um,
Failure. Buy your apple pie afterwards.
Depends. Can I go across and look, Chef? I think we got off to the wrong. We really got off to the wrong foot. You got to appreciate that. We're concerned about our colleague, but yeah, I understand. It's having been out there today. It's not easy, is it? There's just so much to look for, and
have you started
perhaps
to
I
get?
understand.
If you, he looks at you. Give me a persuade check. Actually, you can also have plus 20
Yeah,
for the apology.
I love it.
Yeah. He looks at you and goes, "Yeah, you're starting to get the idea of the scale of the place, aren't you?"
Yeah, in fairness, yes, I am. That's yeah. I mean,
And
well,
he turns back to Agent Salem and interrupts you and says, "I will take you up on that. Let's go and have a. You can buy the food. I'll buy some beers,
That sounds great.
okay?" And uh, just the three of you.
Yeah, like to be honest, this is the company money, so I'd probably be like, if there's anyone else that came on the search with us, I'd probably extend it. Just to because the more people, the better.
Okay. Well,
Like for
you
bodies
okay.
and eyes.
Yeah. Okay. So the others come across, but you end up at a table with just the sheriff.
Yeah.
But all the
yeah,
others come across, and uh, they're actually the you definitely feel buying them some food
Mm.
that does really quite a bit of goodwill, and sort of the slightly standoffish, suspicious atmosphere. It's still there. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
yeah.
gone down a notch. And
I
also,
make out like it's on behalf of the 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 what's the company name
Fishes
that
and
Deborah?
Wildlife. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, I make out like it's on behalf of them, sort of
well,
helping
it
and us.
shifts. It shifts from being suspicion of you to these federal agencies have got too much money if they've got money to pay for this,
Yeah.
and they start slacking off federal agencies rather than you particularly.
Yeah.
Uh, Also, just to be clear, Peggy Sue's is not seen a crowd like it for quite a while, and
Oops.
well, I mean, the whole town knows what everyone was out doing. Yeah,
Yeah.
and so even a few locals come in to ask. I mean, it appears this Deborah lady was quite popular, um,
Mm.
and she's obviously quite adept at making people like her.
Is there anybody that kind of catches our eye that seemed particularly concerned? Somebody that she may have like actually been a friend to, or maybe
That seems
dated
to
or
that
something while she
no,
was here?
not dated. Definitely, the you've actually found to start with Peggy Sue is the
The person. Gotcha.
definitely seems to be her best friend as such in the town.
In the area. Gotcha.
But it's all a very nice atmosphere. Peggy Sue's, I mean, it's quite good business for her, but actually she's more interested to know. She's a bit clearly saddened and upset by the fact that you've not found
We didn't get
anything. But
anything.
then she flips that back into, well, if you didn't find anything, then you didn't find a boat, so maybe everything's all right.
Sorry, just quickly before we move too far on, is there anyone who we see? We all come. I guess we come in as a group.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of chatter about what we're doing. Is there anyone who goes and walks out?
No,
Oh yeah.
absolutely not. No,
Yeah.
Oh,
everyone
okay.
What do we do?
everyone seems to be absolutely honest and interested.
Cool. So we're sat with the sheriff.
Yeah.
Now.
Yep.
Cool. I'll probably wait a little time after we've eaten a little bit, maybe drunk through one of the beers
Mhm.
that he gets, before we start like divulging too much information and grilling him and things like that. Could we have had, because obviously we came in our own vehicle, could me and Moriarty have had time just to chat briefly before, so we can figure out what we're going to say and what we're not going to say before we get there?
I mean, it's not all that far a walk from
Oh, okay. If it's
but
just a walk, then yeah,
but
I'll
no, well,
just
I know, but you're in America, so everyone
go.
drives.
Well, fair enough. Yeah, it's just I think that we should tell him about the families, the two family
Yep.
names, and see what his reaction is.
Yep. Definitely.
Obviously, if Peggy Sue gave us those names, so she will likely have already mentioned it to him.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting that maybe he's either not bothered going over there, or he doesn't want to, or he has and we're completely barking up the wrong tree. I don't
Yeah.
think that's the case, though. If the pictures are any indication, I think that's kind of where we want to be.
Okay. I think. Yeah. We need to be mindful when we're talking to him that
Yeah, we play it as if
if
we're very,
if
very
he knows
ignorant.
it and we bring it up, it's a straight red flag. All of a sudden, it's us against them.
Yeah.
At the moment, we're the sort of innocent bystanders. We're just the you know the noobs out of town who are coming in here thinking we're big and clever, but actually this might be a trigger. But I'm a little concerned over the fact that it's that the Peggy Sue's almost saying that the Corbiers they're well known, but Jimmy the flyboat knows nothing about them.
Did Peggy say that they were well known, or because I
No,
thought they were just
no,
two
she
Oh,
said
names?
perhaps I,
no.
They were
What
just
she
picked.
said, just to be clear, is she said that where's it gone? Where's it gone? She said that Deborah had told her about some strange swamp folk she'd met.
There you
Okay.
go.
Yeah,
It was big family, but not
Right.
well
So
known.
it's
Yeah.
so everything she knows is what Deb has told her
yeah,
about them.
yeah.
Sorry, my
No, that's right. That's
misunderstanding.
right.
It's all
Apologies
good.
for not explaining. Okay.
That's all right. So my, not that I'm saying we should do it, but my train of thought was that if we are down Sequoia and Gelato, we need people to back us up. And unfortunately, I think that's going to have to be the sheriff and his people. So we either make the decision to let him in on what we plan, where we plan to go tomorrow, or we distract him and send him elsewhere
Uh,
if we think that he might be a
I'm
danger.
with you. I think this is too big a job for the two of us, considering our skill sets.
It may not lead to violence. I just think that I would rather go in there with
I think
more people.
our job, with perhaps the retrospective backup of Oculus, is to deal with the situation that was flagged up. Let's go in there. We need to find out what's gone on. We haven't got the manpower to do that, so I think we need to get the sheriff involved.
I understand, obviously, the regarding the children. If it's a situation as it we think it could be, it's likely that the family will hide the children anyway,
Yeah,
and we can simply be under the guise of looking for our friend and keep our ears and eyes open for the unnatural whilst we're there to come back at a
we
further date if we absolutely need to.
we may need to manage that situation. That will be our role in the. In
Unfortunately,
fairness,
yes.
we'll have to leave the law enforcement to the law at that point.
Mm, it's difficult. I want both the backup, but also the need for this secrecy is, and no offense, but neither of us are spring chickens. Going in there it's going to be quite dangerous, regardless of if the people are hostile or not.
Let's call a spade here. That Delta Green's concern here is primarily around the children.
Yes, and
The
finding out what. Yeah,
disappearance of Dr. Carnegie. She's our core source here,
mm.
but where we need to focus is what she found.
Perhaps we can persuade him simply to do a very quick check. We go there on the flyboats. We get the sheriff to ask the questions whilst we stand there.
Yeah.
Don't prompt any further investigation, and it will give us a chance to at least get an idea of the people, the numbers, and what we're potentially seeing.
Yep. Okay. Makes sense.
Okay, let's do that. And
Okay.
then we go to the diner.
Right. So let's just move it. So you're sat in the diner with the sheriff. You're actually in the same table as yesterday, overlooking the street. A
Nice.
lot of the others are sat by the bar. Everyone's having some food. A couple of the guys are definitely having more beer than food, but you've sort of bought food and and the sheriff has actually bought a drink for everyone who participated. It's a bit
Nice.
sort of old school approach there. But there's a few having their own beers and so on, and there's a few of them managed to make endless searching of a swamp and finding nothing sound quite exciting, but uh, pretty soon they're moving on to other subjects because they didn't find anything that wasn't particularly. I mean, they're speculating what might have happened, but yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think, like I said, we wait until we've actually eaten and we're into
Yep.
like comfortable zone. We've maybe just kept the conversation casual and just said what we've seen, etc., like that, like roughly that.
Well,
Frankly, it was nothing.
he's eaten his fill, and he's had 3 beers while he's eating his meal, and
Okay.
he's on his 4th. So he's
Uh,
he's
is
clear.
he getting a bit drunk, or is he seem to
No,
be fine holding?
he can clearly hold it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Didn't want to get to
But
that point.
but he clearly likes a drink. Sorry, and how do you want to initiate the conversation or direct the conversation?
So before we get into this
Yeah.
conversation, I really need to go AFK for a second. So
Oh, okay. No worries.
sorry for that. Talking
Yeah.
about yourselves.
Yeah.
So then I kill Moriarty in front of everyone. I'm joking. Should we wait until he comes back before
Yeah.
I
Yep.
mention something? Yeah, okay.
Um,
So
are you right? We're supposed to finish in 5 minutes. There's still a chunk more to do.
yeah,
What?
I think probably what I'm I think both me and Ian are likely to be aiming for is we want to see what the sheriff's reaction is, and then probably the next time we have this one shot, there'll be more people, and Oculus is potentially
So
send
you
us to
still,
Masons.
so I was going to say we can either try and go on a bit later, or we try
See
and
what Ian says. I'm
yeah,
happy.
yeah.
Hmm.
But because there's an argument for trying to reconvene with a couple of extra players and some Delta Green
Yeah.
reinforcements with some.
I'm happy either way, to be honest.
Yep.
Because I think that even if we do go a little bit later, we'll probably still spend that just doing talking and research before we even get there.
Yep.
Potentially, I don't know. Depends what the sheriff has to say and what his reactions are.
Yes. Yes. Right. We need to wait for Ian. Just while oh, here he is. He's back.
He's come back.
One thing, Ian. Do you want to still quite a chunk to go? Do you want to finish it as we planned, or and try and plan a third session of this, or do you want to carry on tonight and try and finish it?
I'm happy to carry on. I've got nothing else to be doing, so
There we go.
Okay.
as long as that's
Yeah, that's all right.
As long as he's happy with that.
That's all right, with
Yeah,
me. Right.
I'm happy
Okay.
with it.
We got a chunk more to do there. Right. Okay. So sheriff, sit down, sheriff. So how are you starting the conversation with the sheriff?
I think I kind of give the Moriarty that kind of like indication of now,
No.
and I think the first thing I mention is we saw an unusual building out whilst we were on the water, an industrial looking building, March Industries or something. Jimmy had mentioned. Not that I think I believe it has anything to do. I was just curious.
He seems a bit out of place,
Yeah.
considering
Um,
where it was.
Too clean.
Okay. What are your human skills, please?
30, I think, for both of us.
Yeah, both of
I
us.
remember
Yeah.
rightly. Yeah.
30. Okay. With the modifier, based on the fact that he's had a few drinks, it will be blindingly obvious because I give you a plus 40 modifier, so your effective skill is 70, so it's automatic.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
He instantly goes. You see, he can't. He fails to hide the fact that he instantly goes.
Shit. This was the wrong one to mention first.
Oh shit!
He instantly becomes alert and paying attention, and he's now tense. He before he was really relaxed. Now he's
Yeah.
suddenly very tense.
Oh, I thought this was going to be the other way around. I thought he was going to have nothing to do with this one.
But what he actually says is, yeah, I've heard of yeah, I've heard of this March industry place. Don't know much about it. He's lying his ass off.
Yeah.
Okay. I just it was a weird building that I saw. It's
Just a bit odd, really, out there. It's.
yeah.
I mean, hey, we're well. Sorry, I can't speak. I'm a city folk myself. It's all been a bit weird, but that's really stuck out. But
Never made myself onto a swamp before. Mine are usually a little elsewhere.
yeah, well, I'm always amazed by the the families that can live out there.
Yeah, I wouldn't choose
Yeah,
to live out here.
yeah, yeah. I've never
Right.
more than sort of 3 steps away from fresh running water, and
Okay. The change of subject and the moving away from this March industry place seems to
yeah,
lower his stress level. He's still very
We've
alert.
got real words as charisma.
Yes. And he said, yeah, there's some real strange people out there, and some people who you want to be careful with because they think that the law doesn't apply to them, and it does, and that can cause some problems.
That's what Jimmy said.
yeah. It's the old sovereign state stuff, isn't it? It's all about them.
Hmm.
But
The
yeah,
some of the things that are sort of like including Moriarty into this sort of like as if we've had this conversation with Deborah before. Some things that Deborah had said before about that was the families that she'd met and they were a little standoffish.
yeah.
Uh,
What was her name?
Well,
Oh,
Peggy Sue said this to me. Peggy Sue said that she um, she'd been talking to the Cormiers and the Bergerons,
that was
and
it.
yeah,
um,
yeah. Exactly that. Yeah,
yeah, they're some of the most isolationist folks. They don't like any form of authority, and
Wow.
I've had a couple of run-ins with well, I mean, put it this way, they call him the headman, Andre Bergeron. Um,
Bergeron.
he's the head of the Bergeron family and the leader of the sort of this. They're all they're all interrelated, if you know what I mean.
yeah.
And
We get it.
they don't. I've had a few run-ins with him.
Do you
Uh,
think that they would take it upon themselves to I kind of make it look like I'm really concerned. Like, if somebody was to, if they perceived someone to be trespassing, would that be something that they would follow their own course of justice?
um, beat up, steal the person's boat. Yeah, I don't think they kill someone for that.
Hope not. I was thinking more that they would aid in secluding her from being able to get back. But I mean, now you've mentioned that, gosh,
Uh, I, I'm
we were thinking of maybe going past the place where she said she'd seen them before. But frankly, I don't feel safe doing that just myself and John. Uh,
okay. Um,
Are you going? Like, are we continuing this search tomorrow? I mean, we certainly would be a part of our jobs and why we're out here. But
um,
So she certainly had interaction with them. Can we at least go and see what they know?
see if her boat's there. If her boat's not there, then I can't imagine that it's going to be proved too fruitful. But I'd quite like to see if they've heard of her being around there.
honestly, if you want to chat to them, just the two of you go.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
yourself, no.
Well, they don't like me because I'm the sheriff.
Ah,
Um,
understood.
I mean,
Do you think it's safe for us to go?
well, if you're worried, I can be a little bit upriver, ready to come down if there's any shooting or anything like that. But
I'd appreciate that, actually.
Yeah.
Perhaps if you would continue in the search around an area not too far away that we could have use of one of your radios, or at least
right. So
let's
okay,
in the channel.
did Jimmy show you how to use a boat?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're not going to be super proficient, but enough.
Okay, right. I'll take my guys and search up around their area. Yeah. Why don't you go and tell them that you're what's going on? Yeah. And yeah, they're quite old-fashioned in their ways.
Is there anything that we need to know regarding
I mean, right,
interacting with them?
they brew moonshine. They're that kind of, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. They brew moonshine. Um,
In bathtubs.
uh, so why don't you take them a good couple of bottles of Jack Daniels and go and tell them what's going on, and then um, uh, if Dr. Carnegie met them, then go and ask them if they've seen them and say that's what she's missing. Your friends of hers. Say friends, don't say colleagues. Yeah.
Oh, which
Well,
probably
actually,
not be in the UK.
I don't know that. I don't know how they're going to. They certainly don't like me because I'm the law.
I imagine any organization with a logo is going to put them on edge. I understand
They
what you're
don't like
saying.
the government.
Yes.
Yeah.
Understandable. I have alternative clothing.
Okay. And have a
My own clothing.
have a chat to them and say to them what's going on and see if you get any information. And what I'll do is I'll there'll be a couple of us nearby. There's about I'd say there's probably a dozen adults there, but it's a bit of an extended family. But yeah,
Thank you, Sheriff.
okay,
I really appreciate that.
right. Just slightly conscious of time. So do you want to do anything else, or do you want to shift to the next day, or is there any more research you wanted to do?
I don't know, because I don't think researching into like history or any of our knowledges is actually going to
Yeah.
be useful in this situation. Mine is based in Latin and ancient Greece. So I can't imagine it being too relevant here. And if he thinks that it actually would be better to go as more of a casual, just two-person, that would give us all of the opportunity and a measure of safety of having him close by
Mhm.
if it turns ugly.
I just
Um,
I was trying to work out how he's going to fit the Glock into his jacket.
do you think that did we look at her laptop, by the way,
No, you
when we
didn't.
were in that?
No,
Not any
Should
did he
we?
tell, no.
no. You looked at her notebooks. You didn't look at her laptop.
Mm,
Yeah.
I'll give you
should we?
for free though. Her laptop is password protected,
Oh,
so it requires
uh,
computer
okay,
systems
yeah.
role to hack.
I do not have good computer. I have no computer science, so I know.
Albeit, albeit, I'll go back to saying
Yeah,
I'm limited, but no, what's the worst that can happen? We don't learn anything.
true. That's true. We've got enough time this evening, just enough to head back and go back into her trailer just do a little bit more in-depth search about what we're going to face with these people. Do we have a picture of the children?
Yeah, you were
Like,
given 3 in
yeah,
the initial briefing, and you've seen
yeah,
others in her journal, which you could have taken
okay.
pictures of if you wish.
And they're only the same 2 children, yeah?
Yes.
There's no other children. Okay. Um,
It appears from the journal. No, the pictures were all on one occasion. And then, if
okay.
you remember, the pictures were all on occasion. She took some pictures, started asking questions, and suddenly they turned, the people that having been friendly, they turned unfriendly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go back to her trailer.
Okay. You go back. You have the same bit of palaver. But pop the
Loves.
door. Pop the door. It's now evening. There's some quite nice smells of barbecues and other bits of food
Oh,
being cooked and stuff like that. But
lovely.
and you get a lot of stares as before, um, though one of the men who helped you on the search appears to live down the street, and sort of when you turn up, several sort of that seems to prompt um, uh, people sort of asking questions, and he's like, yeah, that's the ones who came with us. They're sort of, they bought us dinner and drinks. The fact that the sheriff paid for the drinks seems to be a bit lost on him. But
That's fine.
yeah,
We'll take the credit. Does it
but
look like this group of people are going to start following us down to where the trailer is?
no, they seem to have gathered round his
Okay.
house, and he's telling a story, and the little bits you hear, the story pieces, but they searched and searched for
It's big
hours.
fish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But you pop the door again, get back into her trailer. The the door's definitely looking pretty weak now, being popped twice the same way.
We'll
Um,
buy her a new door.
and the laptop is there, still plugged in. You want to try and hack
Okay.
it?
We'll try and open and work out her password.
Yeah, give me a computer.
I look over your shoulder and go, try password 123. Capital
So
P.
I try password 123 and
Nothing happened.
Nothing. Wild.
Give me a computer science check, please.
I just clicked it. As I said that, I clicked on it,
Oh,
but it's not come through.
yeah, it's taken a while. I think the
It was
internet
dramatic. It was
connection
dramatic
side.
pause, but nothing. Sorry.
No, it doesn't
Oh,
have a sense of
no, I clicked on it twice now, and it's still not come through. What's going on here? Oh, no.
No, nothing's come through.
In
To be
fairness,
fair,
it's not
it
coming
was.
up. It's not coming
It's
up
not.
with a box.
Yeah.
It's not coming up with a box. Oh, got it. Don't worry. Ignore me.
He lied to us. No.
Right.
Yeah.
No. You can have another try, but not tonight. So do you want to take
Okay.
the
Yeah,
laptop
fair enough.
with you?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just made the door very unsecure.
It's gonna be gone by now. Can I? We already searched before, didn't we?
Yeah.
So there's not really anything new. Yeah, there's. I don't think there's anything else to be squeezed out here. So
Sorry, just quickly, is there any the GPS trackers that's used for the alligators? Are there any of those?
Yeah. Do you want to describe those sort of belts with plastic devices on?
Yeah. I'll if I can take some of those. I'm not sure what I could use them for or how to turn them on, but
might be useful.
this feels like it's useful, so I'm going to take one.
Okay.
Well, if we take some of those collars, we can potentially put a collar somewhere.
Yeah.
And come back for something later if we need to stash it somewhere.
Or if you need to call it a drone strike or something. Yeah, it's
Maybe not that dramatic, but yes. I'm having flashbacks from my other Delta Green game.
Yeah, I mean that's set in 2016, and you're like that, and I mean you have got a military. They've had a permanent military drone on standby.
On standby, yeah.
Yeah.
We had to, but then we pissed someone off.
Yeah. but
Okay.
proper big military grade ones with missiles attached. Right. Okay, so you go back. Are you then crashing for the rest of the night? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Then the following morning, bright and early, well, breakfast at Peggy Sue's, and then down
Oh
to
yeah, hash browns.
Big
Uh,
stack of pancakes and bacon on top.
Mm.
yeah,
From
yeah.
the American way.
Stop it! I'm fucking hungry.
She she is absolutely delighted with all this extra business. Though to be fair, she's actually much more concerned about her friend. Um, uh,
The money helps.
yeah. You get you meet up with the sheriff, and he's got all the same people out, as before out, and there's just a bit of a swap around, and Jimmy's going out with someone else, not you, and you go on the sheriff's boat. Sorry, no, you take your own boat. That was you take your own boat.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
we
Take
did
your own
the
boat.
thing. Yeah.
And you head to this the well, the little handout. Yeah. Sorry, one other thing that the sheriff's able to tell you is he said I'd try and talk to Andre. He's the headman. He lives on the southern side of the river.
And we have got those couple of bottles of Jim Beam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You got a couple of sort of essentially bribe welcome gifts,
Yeah.
and you make your way along, and the sheriff stops sort of around a bend, basically upriver, and are you going to go follow his advice and go to the southern side?
Yeah. Follow
Yeah.
his advice. Yeah.
So you moor up at the dock there, and as you're mooring up, um, you spot a man on the other side of the river sort of starts paying attention to you, and he's wearing basically wearing um, uh, trousers, some sort of old trousers, no top, braces, appears to have quite long, scraggly hair, and is carrying some sort of rifle cropped in his arms. And he just sort of stops and stares at you.
He's on the other side of the river.
Other
Did you
side of the
say?
river, yeah.
Other side. Okay.
Yeah. And then, are you just ignoring him and just making your way?
Kind of look at him, but not like stare him down, but just sort of like having a look, but then sort of like with the intention that we're going to turn and like not making it obvious that that we're looking, but also not being like, oh, we can't see this person with a gun over here. You know what I mean? Like being
Yeah.
an appropriate response.
Okay. Can I just check on something? From what weapon were you carrying? From your comment,
Mm.
Agent Moriarty's got the Glock,
Yeah.
and Agent Salem's got the pistol that have you
Yeah.
got that in an ankle holster, or have you just got?
Yes, yeah, I will keep that concealed.
Okay.
But I also think that obviously we go armed with the bottles, but
What have you done with the shotgun and the
that's what
rifle?
I was thinking. Like, should we just kind of openly carry those because like slung on our backs or something as a not for them, but we're carrying these for the gators.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're just
Okay.
yeah, rather than yeah, and I'm not in the uniform.
Yep. Yep. I got that.
We'll say that
Okay.
we're friends. We'll take that advice.
Mhm.
Yeah,
In fairness, if everyone we've seen, or a lot of people we've seen, they've armed. It's
Yep.
not like we're
yeah,
walking
yeah.
in
Out of the order. Yeah.
out of the ordinary.
Who's carrying
You
the
are up.
shotgun? So who's carrying the shotgun? Who's carrying the hunting rifle? The rifle is
I don't know what the difference is.
a
I
shot.
mean, I know what each one kind of does, but like in this situation, what would be
Just
better.
for the sake of talking in turn, what's your firearm skill? Because I guess you need a better firearm skill to use a rifle rather than
Kind
a
of,
shotgun.
yeah. So mine's only 40.
Snap. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
It doesn't matter then. I'll take shotgun
Okay. Yeah.
and go for a spread.
okay. Right. You're carrying those sort of slung over your shoulders. That's fine. And you wander down, and as you're walking down, uh, a teenage boy of about 14, 15 comes walking up. It's hidden by the it's not visible on the picture I've given you, but there's a trail leading down, and which you're following, and a 40, 50-year-old boy in scraggly clothes that, to be honest, look a bit too small for him, sort of appears on the path. He's carrying an old double-barreled shotgun, and he said,
Love it.
"What do you
Kids
want?
these
What do you
days,
want?
you know.
What do you want?
Is it Andre here? We want to speak to Andre.
What do you want to speak to Andre about?"
I look to Moriarty.
I don't know. Sorry, we got these bottles, haven't we?
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
say, I don't know, but Andre probably wants to talk to us. And I brandished the bottles.
Come. And he takes you basically to the edge of the clearing. Yeah. And then he says, "Stay there." And he then wanders off into the sort of the sort of middle building with the sort of slightly bluey roof.
Yeah.
Sure, let me just get the picture.
So I've done it as a
There we go.
handout rather than maps. I can't.
Yeah, it's all right. Don't worry, I got it.
Yeah.
I kind of, out the corner of my mouth, I'm sort of like, I don't know how old-fashioned these guys are, but maybe you should do most of the talking.
I hear what you're saying.
Uh-huh.
And after about a minute, he comes back out with a man who's sort of quite reasonably big, quite heavily built, big beard, scraggly hair, dressed in an old shirt with no collar, what they call a granddad shirt.
Yeah.
And,
Tom wears those.
yeah.
As do I. Get careful now. I'm not a granddad yet, but
They
hey.
are literally called granddad shirts.
It's
so
a style.
I
It's a
know,
style. It's
yeah.
not a comment on your
it kind of is.
your parental or grandparental status.
No, it's
Yeah. So
yeah,
he
go.
and he's got braces on as well. So there's lots of braces here, and quite big heavy boots as well. And he's got a pump action shotgun slung over his shoulder. And why are you bothering my boy? Why are you here? This is our land. Why are you here?
Yeah, it's your lad, but we just want to talk. And again, over a drink perhaps.
Bear in mind, it's about 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, fair point.
10 o'clock in the morning. It's
So,
4:20 somewhere.
we
You want to buy moonshine,
no, we want to talk. That's all we want to do.
but over a drink.
Yeah.
And are you showing him the two bottles?
I'll show you one of the bottles, I guess.
The other one's bargain power later.
Yeah.
Show him he waves you forward and takes you to sort of like it's like a picnic table. With a couple of chairs around it, and points you to a seat. And what are you here for then?
We're looking for a friend. She
So
she's got missing.
just to be clear, have you given him the bottle?
Yeah, I give you one of the bottles.
So
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
put it on the table. So you've put the bottle on the table.
I'm assuming I put the bottle on the table. I'm hoping he's going to bring some glasses or some shot glasses or something. If he doesn't, I guess we'll pull the cork and we'll slug and share it out. But
The
Amazing.
the teenage boy's sent off, and he comes running back with
I think by the state of the glasses, we might want to just.
slug it out of the bottle. Yeah.
comes back with 3 glasses that are mismatched and well, they look like they've been wiped clean on someone's shirt recently.
No.
The-
Oh,
And he
absolutely not.
he opens the bottle and pours a good slug in each of the 3 glasses and pushes one to each of you two, and then proceeds to down his.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Grin and bear it.
What friend is this?
Looking.
It's the lady for the fisheries. She
Doing study on the alligators.
on the gators. Yeah.
Oh, Gator Lady.
Yeah.
Gator Lady, yeah. What about Gator Lady? And give me human checks, please.
Yeah. Gator lady. Perfect. Human was that?
Yeah, at he's not very guarded. Plus
He's-
20.
All right, cool.
Okay,
Oh,
every
damn it.
time.
Wow. Oh, damn. Well, at least you succeeded.
Let's see. The shot that done it. Or
Yeah.
Obviously, only Moriarty knows this. The way he sort of reacted to Gate Lady is like initially, oh, she's nice, but then followed by, oh, actually, she annoyed me. I don't like her. So it's almost sort of like sort of going through. Oh, I liked her. Oh, forgot to remember. I don't like her.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
But not anything of, oh no,
No.
we've been caught.
No, nothing that bad like that. No.
Okay.
No. Yeah, she's been missing, and I know she's been around here. We got all this mumbo jumbo technology that actually lets us understand where she's been, and we're just trying to retrace the steps, understand where she is.
Well, she hasn't been here for 5, 6 days, maybe a bit more. That corresponds with what was in her journal.
Right. Okay. She
Whilst Moriarty's chatting, I'm going to be just looking around. We'll do that in a minute, but
Okay.
I'm not moving. I'm just
Yeah.
scanning.
she liked the way you like the gators. Yeah, she was you have a common understanding of the animals.
Yeah, but she wants to study them and learn all about them, and that's great. But she weren't so keen on us hunting them. Amongst things that you do notice, um, Agent Salem looking around, is that there's clearly something where an area where some outdoor butchery has gone on, and there are bits of
Alligator steaks.
alligator carcass strung up
Yeah.
that appear to be drying or something like that, and there's various alligator jawbones and heads and stuff like that put up on walls and stuff like that, and over entrances.
Clearly, their main source of meat or material.
Sorry, carry on.
So you say you haven't seen it for 5, 6 days?
maybe a bit more. And
Right.
actually, if you do the maths on her journal plus the time since you were alerted to actually now the time you've been taken searching, because you've been here a couple of days, actually, yeah, that fits about a week, 8 days, 7, 8 days since. That does fit what you're saying.
I guess you don't see too many of us outsiders this way.
Boats go past sometimes, but no. See them a couple times a week, maybe. We stick to ourselves though. Don't need any of your fancy stuff. We do all right.
You sell a lot of moonshine?
Who do you work for?
Who do I work for? I work for myself mostly.
And you?
I work for a university.
What's a university?
It's a big school. People go there.
You're a
You know,
teacher.
to sort of. I don't teach myself, but the people teach at the university. As I said, Casey Lane is my friend. She learnt her trade at the university I work for. That's why we're concerned about her. You haven't heard.
Did she say where she was going next when she came last?
Yeah, she was asking about the meat house.
Is that the building? And I kind of give a rough direction to where March Industries is.
Yeah, that's it. The meat house.
I've not heard it called that.
That's its name.
Oh. What do they? Why is it the meat house? Do they sell meat or
Because the
are they
sign says meat house.
the click in
Well,
in
the sign
Salem's head
the sign
is like
sign says it says meat, so we call it the meat house.
you've not seen anybody. So she went over there. She wanted to, or she said she was going over there.
Yeah, she said something about alligators not being as well near it or something, I think. And she was gonna go and look at it or something, I think.
Gotcha.
Affected their health, yeah. I see. Do you,
So
yeah, carry on.
no. Mine was just going to be a general.
Can I just
thingy.
rewind a sec? While that initial conversation was going on, you said you wanted to look around. What were you looking at specifically?
I want to see the signs of children, like
Yeah.
if there's any like
Right. Okay. So I've talked about the
smaller
alligators.
people stuff.
Yeah, I talked about
Yeah.
alligator skulls and stuff like that. There's also, off you can see an open door to one of the side sheds. There's what looks to be probably a still. So no real subtlety about making moonshine.
Yeah.
There are everyone appears to have sort of gone indoors. Yeah, and there there's to the extent that there's a washing line with a load of washing on it and a basket with more washing sat next to it that someone has
Not
stopped.
abandoned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a few sort of kids' toys around and stuff, but you can't see any kids. There's quite a bit of curtain twitching going on and people watching, but you can't really see. I mean, well, you could make
No.
the way you're doing it be an alertness check.
Okay.
To
I'll
see
go
if
for alertness, just to see if I can catch something, anything.
Yeah. Right. Yes, you can see both adults, male, female, and children peering out. You can't see anyone that looks like the two kids in the photo.
Okay. From the photo we saw, what was the background in those photos? Was it just the children, or was there like any of the building? Like, do we know if they're on this side of the river, or do we perhaps think that they're on the other side?
Uh, what's your search skill?
60.
Right. From you reckon it's been the photo's been taken over this side.
Over this side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of the backdrops match the blue roofed building actually.
Gotcha.
Okay. Sorry, going back to the conversation with him though. So yeah, so the meat house and he sort of waves off in you've studied maps, you've figured things out, but he unwarily seems to know his way around and points in pretty well exactly the right direction.
Quite helpful.
Yeah. Well, I guess there's nothing more for us to talk about. Thank you for your time. Obviously, Dr. Carnegie enjoyed a time with you, so it's and mixing with you. So, well, thank you for your friendship to her.
Yeah, thank you.
And I'm particularly looking at him to see if there was sort of a mixed message. Her notes suggest that they turned against her.
Mm.
And I'm just trying to push. Oh, she's friends with you.
See how badly the animosity went.
Yeah.
Mm.
Whether it's just her suspicion that they didn't like her, but
He looks at you strangely and then says, "You're talking like she's dead."
We haven't heard from her in 5 days now, and that is a bad indication.
Okay.
We're gonna.
she works with alligators. Yeah, we're
It's a hazardous job.
Yeah, but she knows what she's doing.
I hope so.
She knows what she's doing with alligators. No alligator get her.
We're gonna keep looking then. Might go to that meat house.
yeah.
Sort of give a nod towards the boat to
Yeah.
Moriarty.
Again, thanks for your time.
Just going back to the thing you said about you trying to see what his reaction was. I'm going to let that human roll over. It was hard to judge whether there's any animosity there because he was genuinely confused because you're talking like she's dead, and that seemed to be a surprise to him.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Get what you're saying. Yeah. Okay.
My worry now is the fucking sheriff with this goddamn March Industries. That's all my fucking place is going. Oh god.
Are you mentioning to him, by the way, that the sheriff is conducting a search in the area? Because that's the sheriff did ask you to tell him that.
Oh,
Yeah, that's yeah, that's
did
not.
he? I missed that.
Yeah, that's very,
Yeah.
I think we probably would have said that right at the start that
Yeah. Okay.
we're part of a bigger search. That's
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're searching for her.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's covered. Right. Okay. So, what do you want to do?
We get to the boat.
Yeah. Go to the boat.
Yeah, yeah.
It's now sort of late morning.
So it's still quite early. The sheriff, sorry, not the sheriff. Jimmy mentioned that March Industries place had a road that it could be approached from the other side. Do we
large. Yeah.
want to do we want to go dockside, or do we want to perhaps try and perhaps a longer way round? But it might give us a little bit of I don't know how we do it, but find out a little bit more information about it on the. I'm not sure how, to be honest. We might
I'm,
be better just going in there.
I'm not keen on going anywhere near it until we've done any sort of even as much as a Google search, or at least got
Yeah,
Oculus involved in what we're
yeah.
doing. Because
Okay. I don't. I'm aware of how long searching for her is gonna take. Perhaps we can. I'm a little bit more confident to go there in the evening if it takes that long for us to get back and onto the road to get
yeah,
roadside.
okay.
So
Have
you
a
Well,
go,
chat with.
so you're going back to the town,
Mm,
but
yeah,
and then transferring from the the flyboat to your truck,
vehicle.
and
Yeah,
then driving round. Okay. Did you also want to do some like a Google search and stuff like that?
the Google search, perhaps a call to Oculus.
Well,
The other
come
thing,
come come to a call to Oculus in a sec. Um,
yeah.
uh, with first things first. So you do the uh, you, um, right. Uh, you do a Google search for March Industries. It doesn't turn anything up. You look at the coordinates you've taken on Google Maps, and the map is blurred at that point. And you know that's not. There are certain locations that are blurred, and um, uh, not always in this country, but there are. It was in the US. There are places that Google blurs. Okay, so I need a quick bio break. So I'm
Yeah,
just going. Do you want to carry on chatting about what your plan is?
sure.
Yeah, I'll leave you
yeah,
to. I'll
yeah,
be back. Just back a sec. Okay.
yeah.
No worries. So then we kill the GM. No.
The question we didn't answer is why. What I thought the still was on the other side of the river, and that's why they were
Oh,
guarding it. But when you said, "Oh, the still's on
oh.
this side,"
Yeah. I thought.
oh, what's the other side? But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
Possibly just a. Oh,
I think the momentum of the story would suggest
yeah, yeah.
that March Industries is perhaps the place to be.
Possibly. It could even be. My suspicion is now that even if the children do look a little bit strange, it's more to do maybe now with the pollution from March Industries
Yeah,
than a supernatural thing, or it could be a supernatural thing that's
but
coming from March
that's
Industries.
causing that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because I'm assuming that Andy would have said with a search check that we would identify something unusual
yeah,
with a successful search alertness. I imagine. So although the children might be unusual, I don't think that they're the cause. I think now this
yeah,
March Industries, we do not tell the sheriff.
yeah, yeah.
I'm glad we got that reaction from him, but yeah, that was. I thought I'd
I
blown it.
wonder who pays for
Exactly,
his
exactly that.
election. Yeah,
Yeah. So perhaps we just say thank you to the sheriff. Thanks for his time, whatever. And just say that we have to go back because we've got one of our colleagues to speak to, and then we'll
yeah.
go down and do the thing from there.
Okay. So you're back in your vehicle. You've done those couple of basic bits of research. Did you say you want to call Oculus as well?
I think it's worth a call to Oculus, if nothing else, to let her know where we are with
Status
it,
report type.
the status report, but also if
What
she
we
could
plan
do
to
any
do.
sort of deeper dive into March Industries. Obviously, Google would suggest there's something going on there. If and that sort of stuff tends to be around national security or that sort of thing. You'd
Yeah, we don't want to run into there going, put your hands up, and they're like, no, put your hands up.
heads up.
Yeah. Also, we should probably mention to Oculus about the sheriff's reaction.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think if anything, I think we had the conversation. Our thinking at the moment is that
Mm.
although the families were probably the obvious sort of fault here, or not obvious sort of issue here, we moved on obviously now, having had that sort of conversation that our prime focus is more on March Industries.
okay.
Yeah, we think that if the children have got some kind of mutation, unnatural or not, it may be from the close proximity of especially if it's making the alligators ill from the water. It could possibly just be something related to March Industries.
Okay. Right. So you give Oculus a status report. Okay. She says, I will see if we can do some deep diving on March Industries. You can actually do that yourself as well.
Yep.
With either a computer science or a bureaucracy check.
Can we do both? And he does computer science and I do bureaucracy. That's a bit cheeky.
Well, I would suggest that my bureaucracy is so much better than my computer science.
Can I help with the bureaucracy then? I've got 40 in bureaucracy, so I can help him.
Okay. You can roll with a plus 10 for the help.
Does it allow for a plus 10?
Can you type in
It's
your own?
custom.
Can you custom?
It gives you custom as an option, but then doesn't. Oh, let's type it in. No. It says custom percentage. You click on it,
And then doesn't do anything.
and then well, unless I press submit and then see what it says. Yeah.
Hmm.
I guess you add 10 to the
Yeah.
target, don't you?
Yeah.
You could just add 10.
Oh no, it says custom. Okay. So 10%. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
that was
really?
so high. So high.
So you're not able to find anything out of March Industries. Right. Okay.
Damn it. I knew we should have used Yahoo.
Yeah.
Right. She's doing her own research as well. What
Yeah.
do you? Right. Are you driving there?
Yes. We're going to say thanks for your help, Sheriff.
Yeah.
We're
Well,
going to.
sorry, you came back. The sheriff's actually continuing with the search. He's still
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
still out on the.
Okay, fair
We'll
enough.
say over the radio, we'll give it to the Jimmy's office or something on the way out to give back to the sheriff, but we'll just say, thanks, Sheriff, we're heading off, we're going to talk to a colleague, and we do not tell him we're going to March Industries.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So you probably got back. Actually, whoever's driving the flyboat, can they give me a drive check at plus 20? This is not to see if you live or die or have a crash. Just see how quickly you get back.
How long we get to, yeah.
Are
I
you
think
rolling it
we're
or what?
both 20, aren't we?
Who's
Yeah.
who's flying the airboat?
Moriarty's flying.
Yeah, okay, I'll give it a go. It's
At
I
plus
was
20.
too busy on my
plus 20,
phone.
yeah.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah, so you got back quite quickly. So let's say you're probably back by 12 o'clock.
Nice.
Yeah.
Plenty of time.
Then you've done a little bit of calling Sequoia, calling Oculus research and stuff like that. So probably by the time you're leaving, it's 1:30.
We've
Yeah.
got a Google directions for the
Well,
road to.
you
Or
well,
do we not?
yeah.
At least Google directions onto the road that will lead us there.
Yeah. And I'm just thinking whether that. No, that won't require a navigate check. I'm just trying to think.
Yeah, Google does it for us. Of course we don't need to do it.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
with it.
Okay. Right. Yep. That doesn't require a navigate. Okay. It is your. In fact, no. I'm sorry. I'm wrong.
Oh no.
It requires a navigate check because you're
Oh,
going
shit.
onto unmarked roads that are not on. It's tracks that are not on
Oh,
Google.
not on
So who
Google.
is
Yeah.
navigating?
Oh my god. I've got a 30. What you got?
Well, I'm on 10, so it's all you.
Oh, okay.
Drop me your
Shit.
navigating.
I take out my map, my old school map, and I'm like this. And hopefully I get it right. Well, I'm going to put a tick in that.
Right. All that does is cost you time.
Yeah.
You're going up and down trails. You nearly
You're
end
on
up.
the left.
You nearly drive at points into bits that look like they're tracks but rapidly become swamp.
Bruh.
Yeah, so you have a couple of near misses like that. You didn't fumble at least, so you didn't
No,
end up
no.
in the swamp. And it's probably it's taken you several hours. It's probably it's probably 4:30. So it's taking 3 hours, and you're driving down a track, and then you start to spot ahead the sort of it's a single story, but it's actually a bit high for that height. And the other big clue is you're looking either side of this track. You're definitely on a sort of promontory rising out of the marsh, and you spot the edge of the sort of skyline of the building, and then you actually come across uh, the sort of the track opens up, and you come across there's the continuation of the fence you saw, a sort of pretty decent high chain link metal fence with razor wire on top of it. Security. There's a security gate that is uh, has got white could open a bit to allow vehicles to come in and out. You can see hang on a sec. It'll be about 10-ish vehicles parked outside the front of the place.
Oof.
But there's also just outside the chain link fence is a sign that says March Industry Esotech.
Esotech. You spell ESO for us.
And Miet, March Industry Esotech, MIET.
Not me, but oh, yeah.
Sorry, let me put it in the chat.
Yeah, please. Oh, crap. I thought he was mispronouncing March for me.
Yeah,
I thought he was just illiterate. Well, he probably is illiterate, but.
Yeah.
Copy. I mean, technically he's right. It is the meat house. Okay. How do we approach this? Do we go up and
You can
use
see, I mean, I talked about there being cameras before, but you can also see a sort of like security booth by the gate with someone in it, and they have seen your approaching vehicle.
Okay. On the approach, I say to Moriarty, like, how are we going to address this? Are we going as these pseudonyms? Say we're looking for somebody. Do we go in there needing help because of a medical issue and give us a chance to look around, or do we, again, using a little bit of falsehood, say Sheriff Rose sent us here because there's an issue? Clearly he has a link to them, but they would likely try to get hold of him.
Yeah.
What's the reception like on the out on the bayou? Would he be contactable by his
No. That's why they've got
Okay.
radios, because
Yeah,
mobile
yeah.
phones won't work. You're not looking at your mobile phones here. You're out in the
Yeah,
bayou. You've got no mobile phone
yeah.
signal.
No, but they might have something a little bit more thingy inside. I'm thinking how the sheriff is going to be for the next hour or so, still going to be out searching, I imagine,
Actually,
which
yeah.
means that we can get away with using his name for an hour or so before he's able to be contacted. To clarify. So, but it means lying, which neither of us are particularly good at. So we either go in there. How do we do it?
I don't think we're going to get anywhere by giving the straight story.
No,
No,
I
I think we're limited to. I think you're right. I think going for the. But why has he sent us here? I think the sheriff angle is the right one. But why?
mm,
So you've stopped a little short and
yeah.
chatting,
Okay.
and you see there's one person watching you from the what's like the sort of security booth or something like that, security office by the front gate, and then you see what appears to be two guards walking a perimeter, come into view. Both of them have got rifles slung over their shoulders.
Mm. We could make out that the sheriff sent us down here looking for somebody, not too far from the truth, and we don't have to indicate that we're friends with this somebody. But I don't know where that will get us. Maybe in the door. I don't know how far, but it looks like we're going to run out of time.
Yeah. Okay. I guess we'll. Probably as we come into this, we should have had some sort of official shield that we could just show at the gate, so that we're part of something. But okay, we'll go for the. We think someone might have broken in. That sort of.
Okay, yeah. So somebody had come round here, asked them if they've had any break-ins recently.
Yeah.
We're part of the search team. We're not official. We're just part of the search team that the sheriff has sent around.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Are these people approaching or?
So the two guards who are patrolling, and that armed security guards ordering like that is odd.
Yeah.
Um,
I think we kind of like give the impression that we know it's odd. But like I certainly don't like it in my
Yeah. Yeah.
like I look at them and frown as if like that's unusual because yeah, acting too casual could be a dead giveaway really.
Yeah. I guess we're going to pull up to the gate, aren't we?
Yeah,
We've
yeah.
run in, so we'll pull up to the gate.
yeah, you put up the gate, and the two security guards who were sort of patrolling around come to the gate. They don't open it, but it's chain link fence. So they wait for one of you guys to get out and come and talk to them.
Okay, I guess we get out. And
Yeah.
Are you both getting out?
Yeah. We'll both get out.
Okay.
yeah,
One of them says quite nicely, "Can I help you?" One thing, I'm not very good at doing accents. His accent is not local.
Okay.
Just
How not local? Like different country, not
no,
local,
no. He's
or
American. He's
different-
American,
Yeah, gotcha.
but he's not from Louisiana.
Gotcha.
How can I help you?
We got a little turned around, but we had to come. We've heard of the building. We went past it on the boats the other day. We're looking for a young woman. The sheriff has a patrol out looking for her. We were asked to see if there's been any break-ins, though it looks like you're pretty well secure around here.
No break-ins here.
What is this place?
He points at the sign.
Like,
Yeah,
just,
what does that mean?
yeah.
Don't know.
Oh, you just
we
just
just,
work
we just
here.
guard the place.
Just- So are there people that work? Is it just security here, or is there people that work inside?
No, there's some scientists here. Well,
Oh,
they wear white lab coats. That makes them scientists, doesn't it?
yeah. Hang on, isn't that person we're looking for something to do with animal science?
Yeah, she is.
That
Yeah.
not be? Could we
Does she
talk to
work
one of
here?
the? I don't know. We don't know her that
She
well,
might
but
do.
maybe.
It'd be nice to ask.
What's her name?
I make a habit of like looking at my phone for the name. Deborah. Oh gosh, I've actually lost her name.
Carnegie.
Carnegie. Yeah.
Um,
Deborah Carnegie. I
Carnegie.
think Doc Carnegie. Sorry.
Um,
About 27-ish.
hang on a sec. And that
I
doesn't
will.
he says that doesn't sound familiar. But one of them, the one, not the one talking to you, the other one goes across to the security office.
I'm just checking. While saying that, does anyone get a bit cagey around that name, or
Or even the description.
Human
Yeah.
checks.
Can we both do one, or
Yeah. You're both present.
Okay. I didn't want to jump on his idea.
Hey.
We're a good duo. One of us fails, one of us succeeds.
Moriarty, you're unsure. Salem, you're pretty certain. Sorry, the name doesn't register.
No.
But the description does.
When they like that recognizing the description, is it one of they suddenly shut down and don't want to reveal anymore, or is it a kind of like oh yeah, no, I've heard of them before? Like, have they got something to hide?
They definitely started to close down.
Which case,
Yeah.
I say, oh well, let's wait and see what the answer is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's checking. Sorry. Yeah.
So eventually, the one who comes back and says, "There's no Dr. Carnegie on our list."
Right.
Um,
Well,
she didn't work for. I can't imagine she worked it, but like whether she worked with the lab techs or did you ask the lab techs if they've spoken with a Dr. Carnegie? I doubt whether she'd work here, otherwise the sheriff would have just come over here himself, wouldn't he?
She won't be working with the scientists here. They don't.
look,
Only you're only allowed in if you're on the list, and she's not on the list, so they won't be working with her.
Right.
well, we have fairly good information that she was seen around here. Now,
Yeah.
don't be wrong. You can clear this up. We can go and talk to someone rather
have
than
to come
just the
back.
security team,
Hmm.
and we can clear this up. The alternative is we're going to have to go back and talk to our bosses. The US Fisheries and Wildlife Service are going to get involved because it's their employee that's missing. And also, you have all sorts of feds down here talking these questions. So it might be easier if someone just comes and we get to see someone who
I don't want to have to come out here again.
got lost the first time. Which is rubbish at navigating. But hey, that's beside the point.
Right.
You were driving.
Ian, sorry. Give me a Agent Moriarty, give me a persuade check.
Next time. Oh, fuck me.
Sake! Sorry, this is a whole problem with these systems.
Yeah.
It's all about a dice roll.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I was about to say next time I'm going to make a charismatic character, so all these talking bits work properly.
Yeah.
But it doesn't fucking matter when you roll a 99.
Well, no, if your skill is high enough, you don't roll.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Can I use history? Just because. Just.
Well, if you said use medicine, I might have had more
Yeah.
chance. I still would have fumbled at 99, but hey,
Yeah, probably. Well, you wouldn't
I
need a
might
roll.
not have had to roll.
He just shakes his head and says, "If you, there's not a lot I can do. If you want to go and get your bosses involved, they'll have to talk to my bosses. But our instructions are very simple, and we can't get anyone to talk to you for the moment. They're all busy."
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Well, they're going to be busy when they got the feds up their arse, aren't they? Yeah? That's what I'm saying. But hey,
He
that's
shrugs it off.
I'd sort of make a motion that we should probably leave. I can see Moriarty building up. Just
Now, it's sort of been chatting for a while. Got here about 4:30. It gets to about 5:10, and one of the doors in the door you can see into the building opens as you're chatting to security guys, and you see several people come out. One of them is actually wearing a white lab coat, and people start getting in cars, and like they're going home for the day.
maybe we can talk to the lab technician once she's past the gate. Oh, once they're past the gate, I don't know who they are. I don't hide that from the security guard. I don't make a big deal out of it. I just say, "Oh, we'll just talk to them when they're past the gate," and then wait at the side of the road for until the car starts to come out.
Right. Noticing the conversation going on at the gate, one of the people who's come out walks over in your direction.
Mm.
A woman, slim, short woman in her early 50s, probably. And sorry, what's going on here, please?
We're here on search for a missing woman. I don't suppose
Why would
you've
you think
had
this is connected?
our information led us here. We were sent.
What
Well, we're on a
information?
search party led by the sheriff, and this place was mentioned as being the last place that she was heading towards.
Sorry, who are you?
My name is Gillian Hale. I'll put out my hand.
Well, she's on the other side of the fence.
Oh, is she not? Oh, I thought she'd come out in our car. Never mind.
No. She's
Oh,
walked
in that
over.
case, I
She's walked over.
just introduced myself.
And you are, she says to.
John Bolton.
Can I see some identification, please? But right.
Delta Green fake ID, isn't it?
What? So you're showing like a driving license?
Yeah.
So
yeah, like I'm not sheriff.
no. So
yeah.
Sorry. So that's so. Are you here officially? Do you have an official role here? Who do you work for?
We were just part of the search party. Have you heard of a young... This could be over with in 2 minutes. Do you know of a young woman, 27 years of age, this height, blah, 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 and I give a description. I doubt you would have heard her name, but her name is Deborah Congeli. I don't know, I forgot her name.
Kaliki.
Just
I don't know,
to be,
pasta.
unless you're being deliberate, I'm not sure if you've been doing this deliberately. She's 29, not 27, but
Oh, is it?
yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's
you're
okay,
you're
29.
saying a correct age. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Give me another human roll.
Human. Yay. One of us is going to fail, one of us is going to succeed. Failure.
Oh,
Fuck.
failure.
Wow. That's
Jesus
just gonna
Christ.
fumble.
The rules need to come for us. They just
She
don't.
she
Yeah.
says, I have no idea who that is, and she appears to be telling the truth.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get anything.
Sorry, are you on?
Yeah.
Sorry, not asking for your ID. I just don't know what your name is. So when we report back to the sheriff, I've got an idea of who I'm speaking to. Sorry. I wasn't trying to be
I
evasive.
don't feel like I'm under any obligation to give you my name.
Sorry, you're not under any obligation. It's a common courtesy. I literally just want to report back that, for a full report, that we spoke to
But
at the
you're a
plant.
civilian. Why have you been deputized by the sheriff or something?
No, not everybody on this search has been.
Why are you being so cagey? I'm asking you a question about a missing civilian. I'm not asking you for any personal or permanent or parochial information. I just want to know who I'm talking to. Is your name so secretive then?
Can I keep an eye on the security detail? How many there are that are being drawn to this?
You've seen no other.
conversation as he's getting.
You've seen no other
So
security.
just 2 guards
And there's a third one in the security office.
and the third one. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
She sort of looks at Agent Moriarty but doesn't respond, and then the security guard you were talking to most then leans in and whispers some things to her. She says, apparently you were threatening the federal services or something. The federal threatening my employee with.
So no one's threatening anyone. We merely pointed out to your employee that the person who is missing is employed by US Fisheries and Wildlife Services. The information we have is the last place she was coming was here.
Okay.
If you can't see to give us the appropriate information as to why...
What is the appropriate information that you need?
Merely your name, position, and your acknowledgement that she never came here.
Right. I am the lead scientist here. I do not think my name is relevant. Simply the lead scientist at MIET will suffice for any communication. I'm not in the custom in this day and age of giving out my personal details to random people who approach in such an aggressive manner. And if I do not know what you're meaning about this woman, she is not here, and apparently you thought she might have broken in. Believe me, I employ security, as you can see, to ensure that no one breaks in.
There's only 3 of them.
Albeit very heavily armed, surprisingly.
It's a bit of a
Right.
shock.
I think this conversation is over.
Yeah, I think so too.
Good day to you. And she turns away. The security guards stay, but she turns away and goes to her back to her. She actually goes back inside the building, not back to her car. Where have you parked blocking the gate, or have you parked off to the side?
I don't know. I don't think we would have.
Well, we drove up to the gate like we might get in,
Yeah.
didn't we? So we're
Yeah.
probably blocking the gate in fairness
So the
without.
security guard says, "Do you mind moving, please?"
Oh, I don't know. It's a free country. No, I'm joking. I don't say that. I don't want to antagonize them anymore. Maybe we should head back and talk with the boss
A report back, yeah.
now.
Okay.
And then maybe we chat on the way back, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to leave. Other vehicles start leaving, but you're leaving as well. Okay. What do you want to do next?
I don't think we should. I think we should probably avoid the sheriff for a little bit because we've ruffled enough feathers that they're probably going to tell him that 2 people were down there. So we probably should avoid the sheriff. But there's definitely something not quite right there. But it looks
How
like they've
far?
only got 3 security guards.
How far is the nearest town away from
Would it
both of
be this one?
those?
Or
Because I'm thinking we might want to leave. Might want to
get a different
find
motel?
somewhere else to sleep tonight.
Yeah.
Are you going back
Go
to
go
your?
back for our stuff.
You
Yeah.
go back for your
That
stuff,
stuff
and
as
then
quick as you can.
paying your bill and
Settle it up.
leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you want to just go and stay somewhere a distance away.
Either Catahoula or
Or Henderson.
Yeah, somewhere, just somewhere perhaps with a little bit more population, so we're not as easily identifiable as
Uh,
two.
Yeah.
You find a
Yeah.
motel in Henderson. That's probably a good bet.
Yeah. We might want to
So
swap our hire vehicles or.
that you technically have to go back to the airport to do. Actually, no,
Right.
it'll be
It's,
no. I'm talking rubbish. It'll be a chain. It'll be a chain.
yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
you go and swap it for a different vehicle. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got her laptop, but I think we should keep hold of that, to be honest.
Yep.
I think that's the only thing that we've got.
Okay. So you move back to Henderson. What do you want to do? Right. You've got there probably by about. It's probably now about 9 o'clock at night. You're fully checked in. You've got a new base of operations. You've checked out in Butler Rosa, and you're now in Henderson. What do you wish to do?
This is more of a break-in situation now,
Yeah.
or potentially asking Oculus for some kind of clearance level
Some cover that we could go in at
cover.
with. Yeah.
Perhaps we can go in and explain that we tried in civvies and maybe we're feds now or something. But I think that might be pushing it a little. Unless we can, I don't know. I don't know what we can do.
The lady who gave us no name was supremely confident that the federal government is not going to gain access.
That's my concern. I feel that
Yeah,
maybe
I might come across as a little bit amateurish in that, but surely the fact that we were, if you don't give us information, then, and she was willing to back that off, suggests she's not worried by the federal government.
I don't know whether she is worried or not because she was quite hard to read, and I'm not the best at reading people, but I know a little
Yeah,
bit.
fair point.
We need somebody that's perhaps a little bit more adept with talking with people and reading them. But that's by the by. Let's let Oculus know what's happened and see what she has to say.
Yeah.
Okay. So you get hold of Oculus, and you give her all the information you've got. Right. She says, I could get someone to crack the laptop, but it sounds like the laptop might be irrelevant. Yeah.
Possibly.
What do you think the next course of action is?
I think we need to gain access to March Industries.
Yeah, but we made quite a scene outside in our attempt. But it's not our skill set to that was at work there. We
And,
did
and also,
pretty well till then.
yeah, we really didn't have the credentials to back up our position.
Yes, maybe that was an error not giving you some credentials to start with. But so, what would you advise? Gaining entry how?
Mm.
Are you
I-
talking
Well,
some kind of illicit break-in, or are you talking some kind of um, uh,
break-in would be an option, and so is trying the credentials, though they won't be as effective potentially. I think that that may be a non-starter now. As there's only two of us, it might, absurdly, it might be easier just to try more covert entering illegally.
okay?
And
Can I suggest that you try your hand at breaking in?
yes, we're going to need a little bit more tools for the job that we're not going to
yeah.
find out it. Yeah. Do you? Uh, was there anything at that locker? And I
What
sort of addressed to Bolton that we saw there that could help us with that kind of.
Not that I can remember.
what kind of
I
tools
think.
do you what kind of tools do you need?
Well, there are 3 guards, which hopefully we can avoid just by avoiding. But there are a lot of security cameras. That is our main issue. There will likely be some kind of a lot of computer and tech things. This is a tech company from the name, so it will likely need high level computer breaking, password hacking tech. Um, I don't think we're going to get in with some lockpicks, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Um, we can attempt to potentially, though I'm loath to do such a thing without knowing what's inside, but we could potentially cause a situation where people have to leave the building. I do think that this should be done at night, but perhaps there is a situation where an alarm goes off for a gas leak or a fire. I obviously don't want to actually light a fire, but perhaps if we can make something go off, make our entrance a little easier. Honestly, I can't think of much else right now. Um,
You're asking 2 agents whose skill
the wrong
set
skill
doesn't
set.
fall
I realise that we're
into
available at
this
the moment.
boat, but we need the whatever help we could get.
Right. Um,
Alternatively, give us some sort of warrant that lets us get in the front door, but we're only going to see what they want us to see.
Yeah. We won't have freedom of movement around. Blueprints. No, that won't be available. They've blurred it out on Google.